Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. I had myself a ball this weekend, dude. I had myself a friggin' ball this weekend, and I had myself a ball watching a little baseball, and that is because the Miami Marlins are doing some things right now, dude. They have gotten themselves back to 500. They busted out the brooms and swept the Yankees this weekend in front of a jam-packed audience at Lone Depot Park, and I can just say right now, dude, about this Marlins team, there's something about them, dude. There is something about these fish that feels kind of special. I don't mean to be corny about it. I don't mean to be lame about it, but I can't help it. I can't help what the heart wants, and the heart right now is enjoying the fish, and they are kicking ass and taking names right now. They are beating the brakes off of some of the best teams in the league. And they just swept the Yankees, who, yes, did not have Aaron Judge. But, dude, this is no slouch of a team. And they boat raced them this weekend. I'm telling you right now, dude, there's something about this Marlins team that is reminiscent. It's not of 03 yet. I'm not ready to go there yet. But there's something reminiscent about some of those fun teams. I'm thinking like 06, 08, 09. And there's just something about them. There's something about this weekend in particular was really Goosey's, and today in particular was Goosey's because, first of all, if you guys missed Friday night, you know that was one of the best regular season games you'll see in your life. The Marlins won 13-12. They were down 6-0. They were down, I think, 9-4. They were down 12-10, and then came back and won 13-12. And they did it on just unbelievably dramatic hitting. This was with Giancarlo Stanton going deep. You had yourself a grand slam by Kyle Stowers, who should be in the MVP conversation right now, who went deep again today for the Marlins. Then you had on top of it, you know how the Marlins, you want to know why it's great right now? If you guys aren't into baseball, the Marlins have always been the brunt of the joke of, oh, we're the Yankees farm system. Oh, I can't wait to get that guy in the Yankees. They were doing this. They were circling like buzzers around Sandy Alcantara. And I was making my way back from St. Pete this week and following the trade deadline, and as I get home, I find out the news. The Marlins aren't trading the Sandman, and I was so geeked up, and I was like, yes, they're actually going to give this thing a run. They didn't trade him, and they didn't trade Edward Cabrera, who, by the way, I was like, I still don't know if I trust Edward Cabrera. He's been Wild Thing Vaughn basically his entire Marlins career, and they stood pat. The only guy they traded was Jesus Sanchez, who they definitely could afford to do, and the guy they basically brought up this week, Jacob Marcy, to replace him, had one of the greatest debut weekends of all time. And Peter Bendix is you know, after a really tough first year that was terrible, that was littered with, we knew that the breakup was happening with Skip Schumacher, who just won Manager of the Year. Another Marlins guy taking over. He's a stats guy. Looks like he got stuffed into his locker, came up with all the new stats, but he definitely knows more baseball than any of us put together. Is this guy going to be believable? Can this guy run an organization? And, dude, this second year, I mean, it's been unbelievable because everything's kind of clicked at the right time. Cal Quantrill, who started the year throwing nothing but fast meatball, slow meatball, is now dicing through guys. Sandy Alcantara is starting to find his way the last two starts. Then you have baby goat Yuri Perez, who has been unfriggin' believable since coming back from Tommy John surgery after, like, a rough start. Edward Cabrera has been absolute nails. Jansen Junk, like, what? He has been, like, out of nowhere. They got a reliever who smacks himself right in the face when he comes into the game. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but this is actually what the dude does. Like something out of Major League, like something out of a movie. The guy, like, curses at himself all the time, but then, like, as he's coming out of the dugout to juice himself up, a la Big John Henderson from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tyler Phillips smacks himself in the face. He like does to get himself ready and raring to go. So I'm just saying the team's got Graham Pauley, who, yes, cannot hit the broadside of a barn. But I tell you one thing, he plays a mean hot corner, dude. A mean hot corner. This dude has had such great plays over the last week and a half. It's been like Mike Lowell magnifique. It's been so encouraging to see. Xavier Edwards man it over at second base. Otto Lopez has been clutch as all hell all year. And then, I mean, I think the best part of this weekend by far was the fact that the Marlins flat out have started winning trades, and it's just been out on display. Like, they traded Trevor Rogers, who's been really rounding into form for the Orioles, but he's not Kyle Stowers for the Marlins. And then you have on top of it this trade with Jazz Chisholm getting dealt to the Yankees for Agustin Ramirez, who certainly has his own follies to come through as a defensive catcher. And by the way, I don't know what the hell was going on with the Marlins pitch comm this week, but Ramirez hits 2 tater-tot bombs. Gus Bus goes, and the Marlins got a 2-0 win based off of winning that trade yesterday. And Jazz Chisholm got doubled off first base on an infield pop-up. It was amazing. Not to mention Jack McKeon, who was friggin' goosies galore. I mean, Trader Jack, 94 years old, gave a speech. The speech was good. Him in the broadcast booth with Kyle Seeloff and Tommy Hutton. And it was really like, Seeloff was great, but Seeloff did a great thing of just letting Tommy Hutton and Jack McKeon talk ball like a couple of old friends. And you were like listening to 2 South Florida legends. And Tommy Hutton, I cannot stress this enough, is a South Florida legend. Is just sitting there, kicking back, talking some ball with Jack McKeon. And Jack McKeon was so good talking about the 03 team, talking about getting people out to the park, talking about how he doesn't have a cigar anymore. He gets 1 cigar a year because he had open heart surgery when he was 82. He's 94 now, and he only smokes 1 cigar a year. But he chews them all because photo ops, people want him with the cigar, which is true. That's game ops from Jack McKeon. I'm becoming, I got to be honest with you guys. Like, my first sports love was the Florida Marlins. First sports love was the Florida Marlins. And I'm a little smitten right now. I'm a little smitten with this team. I really am. I think that they got a lot of things that are enjoyable. They got some pop, but they got a lot of guys who just drag out at bats. They play baseball the right way. They play their asses off. They play good defense. It's a lot of things like if you have been sick of the way old teams play baseball, of how every other team plays baseball the same way, like they just seem like they can put a lot of good things together, good at basket. That's the thing that was impressive with Marcy this week. Like Jacob Marcy comes up here. First of all, he's flying around the base paths. He had like 3 doubles and a triple this weekend. He had 4 walks. It was an incredible debut, not to mention the fact that like they kept putting his parents on. His mom was adorable, like on the edge of her seat every single game. I loved that. And man, I really am having a ball watching this team. And also, I can't stress this enough. The Yankees. And you may say like, Tomes, is that even? No, I hate the Mets more than I hate the Yankees. All right. Even though, you know, plenty of New York teams we don't like. The Knicks, the Jets, the Rangers, all. But the Yankees, the arrogance that comes with that fan base is uncomfortably annoying. And the fact that they have Giancarlo Stanton, which was always my nightmare of like, you know, them circling around being like, we're going to get your guy. We're going to take whoever your best player is. You're a farm system. Then you have the fact that Derek Jeter basically lit the franchise on fire and pissed on the ashes when he was the owner of the team. And now you're in a spot where like, hey, they're kind of they're starting to put things together. And then you made a trade last year, and it kind of feels like the Marlins fleeced them. It kind of feels like Big Balls Bendix, Petey Prospects. It kind of feels like he fleeced the Yankees. So I'm smitten right now with this team, man. I'm really enjoying it. I got very nostalgic this weekend. The last game I went to was the funny enough was Marlins Brewers before the All-Star break, and Christian Yelich, who never plays left field, he DHs a lot these days because his back is made out of pastrami, but he was playing left field, which was hilarious because then I had to explain to kids the Christian Yelich story of me having to eat crow, which was not fun. And then, by the way, there was a guy heckling him the entire time, being like, Yelich, nice grounder to shortstop. You've given us 3 of those. And I'm like, man, because I kind of felt like Yelich saw me, and I was like, oh, man, he probably thinks I'm yelling that at him. And I'm not yelling that at him. Yelich was A-okay with it. First of all, he took all the crow stuff in great stride. came out to a radio appearance and signed autographs for anybody who wanted them, and then went on to win an MVP. Could be going to the Hall of Fame one day. But I say all that because I went to that day. That was Jim Leland Day. I got my Jim Leland bobblehead right here. And I was like excited because I was like trying to explain to my son like who Jim Leland is. And then today they put in Jack McKeon, which I was like, oh, good. You got it, because you got to make sure Jack gets in before, I mean, he doesn't sound anywhere near 94, but you can't risk it. And then Luis Castillo's going in. Luis Castillo is like top 3 all time for me. It's a tough list. I mean, I think I would literally say that probably about 12 Marlins are top 3 all time for me, but I love Luis Castillo. And yeah, there's just something about this Marlins team that is really, really dynamic. So if you guys aren't watching, you should be. I appreciate you checking this out. Not to mention, they have a reliever named Lake who looks like Duck Dynasty. But he was awesome today. Lake Bacher shutting people down. Ronnie Enriquez, huge stone strikeout of Giancarlo Stanton. Everybody was nails this weekend, dude. Everybody was nails. And they got the Astros coming into town. It's gooses galore right now. So the Marlins got something brewing. 55-55 now. Got themselves back to 500. Which was, I believe, let me get this record here for everybody. I believe was the last team to do that was 2014. It was, the Marlins, this is from Sarah Langs. Marlins are the first team to reach 500 after being 16 games under 500 since the 2014 Rays. Only other teams to do it in the wild card era are 2008 Cleveland, 2004 Tampa Bay Rays, and the team that this team gets compared to a lot, I think in a lot of people's eyes, the 2006 Florida Marlins. So pretty cool by the fish.